Tea on Mars. The bit that you just saw when I was making a cup of tea was actually filmed at 3 AM this morning, and it's because I spent until 5 working. So it's a bit of a weird day today. It's actually 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm just getting ready to get back to work. Today is going to be a bit of an oddity. I've got a lot of work to do for Jen, so I've got to actually pull together a load of equipment because we are filming something a bit special. So let's go and see what Jen's got for us.
Hi, how you doing?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm pretty good, thanks. I'm just reading up for the video that we're about to film.
Okay, is the angle grinder needed?
The angle grinder?
You know, the miter saw, whatever it's called.
Oh no, that's because I've been doing my project build in here. I've just moved it off the rug, so we've got the space to do the filming. But that's for a different project. So basically you're not pointing the camera this way, you're pointing it that way when we do the video.
Okay.
Which reminds me, I think the Hello Kitty bag might need to move. Ever the professional.
Oh my goodness, guys, wow. Got a few things to talk to you about today. So, okay, I'm getting beat at already. It's going to be a busy day. But here's the thing. I've been out and about. I've been in the house basically for 2 weeks now because I had some symptoms and thought it might be COVID. Had the test. It isn't. I've just had a very bad flu. But I do have a few things to talk to you about because a few things have arrived in the post. Now, I know what this will be. Wow, it's busy today. This is part of the other thing that I do as part of this collection because I am doing preservation as well as everything else. And speaking of preservation, it's important to keep and preserve the history of the things that weren't commercially available but were a major part, or even a minor part, of computing history. This is me corpsing a little bit while I get these out. Word processing general and, what is it? JP Music it says, but Word Pro Spell. Won't mean much to you. Then we have these two others, and this will make it obvious what these are. Wacky PD Library. Wacky was the International Amstrad CPC user group, so I dropped one there, the unofficial one, but kind of became the big one, especially when the Amstrad user group for Amstrad itself kind of dispersed. Wacky is the biggest and most prominent and probably the most long-running of the user groups for the Amstrad CPC. It had its own software library, known as Wacky PD and other things as well. This is Pascal Plus. It's Wacky CPM Disk 7, which gives you an idea of how big the library was. It wasn't just a couple of disks. And this one is Wacky CPM Disk 6 Pascal Plus. And these don't turn up much. So now they're in my museum. I'm really happy to add these to the set. It didn't cost an awful lot to get, but they're very, very valuable from my point of view because they are an important part of computing history. Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit because the next bit is quite different. This looks like an Atari joystick, doesn't it? But it isn't. It's one of the ones that looks like an Atari joystick because this kind of became the standard for joysticks. But look at the way it's angled. So you put this on a desk and it's angled up as if you're using an arcade game. And I have 2 of these. I also have a very large cartridge here, and in a moment you'll see another cartridge. This cartridge is called Car Race GP PC504. Now, if you know anything about computing and console history, the PC50 whatever range will be quite familiar to you, because they go into this. This is a Grandstand SD070, also known under many, many other names from a variety of different manufacturers. It's the PC50X series of consoles. These are the missing link between a standard Pong console, like clones of the original Magnavox Odyssey, the old Binatones that everyone had, and things like that, and then the Atari 2600. It can play 10 different games, Most cartridges don't have 10 games on them. Some do, but most don't. This one that's in here is Super Sportic PC 501, and it does have 10 games on it. Some of these are actually really good fun. It's got squash, hockey, tennis, target shooting 1, target shooting 2, although it actually has them listed as target 2, target 1, which is a bit weird. Basketball, soccer, grid ball, basketball practice, and standard squash practice. Grid ball is my favourite. It's basically a cross between Pong and Frogger, and it's so much fun. I'll show you on the screen here. Now, what do you think of that? That is pretty good, I think. So, this console is older than I am. They started in the mid-70s and went on to about 1984, possibly even 1985. I think it's 84 though. So, it had a decent run, and it's cartridge-based. There are 8 cartridges, I believe, and they've got different games. Some of them are like Breakout, some of them are car racing, so yeah. This one here, this is not Pong. It's nothing like Pong. It's got early, like really, really early Atari-style graphics, but like wasn't really putting much effort into Atari-type graphics. They're blocky. So it looks a bit like teletext on a Pong console. A lot of fun. So I'm hoping that this will make a very nice exhibit in the collection. And since there are only 8 games, I'm going to go for the complete set. I'll try and get them. Some of them are hard to get. They're just not out there. But there we are. So that is a really nice addition to the set. I'm so happy to have been able to add that. Now, it's not the only thing that I've added today to the collection, because the reason I'm a bit hot and sweaty is, now that I'm over the self-isolation, I spent 2 weeks self-isolating. The last day of my 2-week self-isolation, I got my test results back and it said it was negative for COVID. So, oh well, at least now I know anyway. So I'm safe to go out and about, and I did. I went down to CEX, and I'll show you what I found. First of all, this one's a Saturn game. It doesn't have a manual with it, but it is a Sega Saturn game that I'm looking forward to playing, because before I went out this morning, while I was having a cup of tea, I watched a Metal Jesus Rocks video on PS1 Hidden Gems, and he mentioned Tunnel B1. Now, this isn't the PS1 version, you can tell. It's got Sega Saturn written on it. It's a Saturn version of Tunnel B1. He said this is a pretty damn good game, and I'm thinking, yeah, it looks pretty good from what he showed, so I got it, and it's in decent enough condition for a Sega Saturn. I mean, the cardboard cases, they get a bit damaged. And sadly, no manual, but I do have the game here in good condition. So I'm going to be playing that later on when I finish work, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But it's not the main reason I went into town. Actually, the main reason I went into town is to get some more batteries, because the mouse, the keyboard, and my Xbox One controller, they eat through batteries. But the other reason is Project Zero 2. There are, I think, 3 of these games on the PS2. I do have Project Zero 1, and I've played it, and it's really good fun. So I'm looking forward to giving this a try as well. It cost a fair amount of money. I was a little bit shocked and taken aback, but it's got the manual. Everything's in great condition, so I am looking forward to giving this a try. Another survival horror for the collection. Always love that. But the other thing that I want to show you, because we keep going, this is the last thing now, is this. Star Wars TIE Fighter. It's a build your own kit. It's like an Airfix kit. This one's from Revel. The reason I've got this is I'm going to be starting to put together a few little bits for a trial show on, I'm not sure whether it's going to be all mass media or I'm going to usurp the Saturday slot on Jenny's channel to do some kit building and reviews. I've got a kit around here somewhere of a little newsstand. I think it's under the desk. No, it's around here somewhere. A newsstand for models in 00 gauge for model railways. I also want to expand onto little different things just to give a bit of variety. I like this sort of thing, so I'm going to see if I can put together something interesting for that, and we'll see how we go from there. But that's all I've got for the moment. I've now got to get back to work. I hope you have enjoyed this. It's a little bit hodgepodge, and that's because last night I was exhausted after spending until 5 o'clock in the morning making a video for Jen. It was worth it. The video's great, even if I do say so myself. Put a lot of effort in to make it really good. Now I've got to get on with editing some more videos, so I better get back to work. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. If you liked today's video, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Doing that really does help to keep the channel going. And an extra special huge thanks has to go out to Chief89, Tepic, and Sam Yates. Thank you very much.